What's up, everybody? Nick here from Booster Boys Cards. It's like the beginning of August, maybe like the second week of August, and we have like a personal submission for somebody. So this is a submission for exceiia. I'll tag all his info in the description down below, so you guys can give him a follow. He reached out to me to do a personal submission just outside of the bulk monthly submissions that we do. And yeah, we took it on, and it is a huge collection that we got in earlier this week. This did only take us like we'll call it 2 sittings, but I worked on I probably uploaded 25 cards one night, and then the next night just sat and finished it. So 2 settings, but it's 193 cards, so another nearly 200 card submission. Lots and lots and lots of Japanese, tons of goodies, some very high value stuff. We are still going to submit this in the bulk tier at $14.99 per card. That's $15 per card. And I do expect some upcharges here, and then the person who's subbing with me, actually, he's fully aware of that. I think he's expecting some upcharges too. But we're gonna roll the dice on that, and whatever happens. We'll take care of that when we come. But yeah, I think that's enough of a little intro there, but let's get right into it. And I kind of have these in stacks of 25, so we'll kind of just scan through and kind of talk through what we got going on here. Yeah, so like I said, lots and lots of Japanese cards here. Got a bunch of Charizards to start us off, some English here and there, then some duplicates. So this is very, very organized, the way he did everything. Some cool playing cards here, but we're pretty much starting with a bunch of Charizards, and then we're going right into some more fire types. Got the Entei, which is very nice, a couple of Enteis. And once we get out of the fire types here, this Flareon's beautiful. Infernape's great. Once we get out of the fire types here, I think we go right all into the grass. We see a bunch of Master Balls throughout the whole, kind of scattered throughout the whole submission here. This is a very cool web series. Ninetales here, awesome stuff. Same artwork as base set, but this is now the web series e-reader. Like I said, there's so many goodies in here, and I wish I could kind of take the time to go through every single one. I'll stop and show my favorites. There was probably a couple in the beginning that I just kind of breezed through that I'll just get roasted for not really talking about, but that's all good. We got a lot of e-readers here. And a lot of these, here we go, right, we're pretty much into the grass types now. A lot of these are very, 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 minty. I didn't really go through, I didn't prep these cards, right? So he sent these cards to me exactly how you see them. So I didn't take the time to scan over everything, to look over everything in great detail, because he already did that part, so that part's out of the way. So we can only really, I do love this card too. We can only really base our opinions off of what we can see through the top loader, or through the card saver, and through the penny sleeve. But from what I've seen, all these cards are, either light play plus or near mint. These alt arts are awesome too. This one too. This Wailord and Magikarp. But everything is pretty much near mint. Again, from what I could see, it all looks like 9s and 10s. Like obviously the ultra modern. Obviously we want to try to get 10s. Some of the vintage, as we know, a little bit harder. They're a little bit harsher on the vintage, especially the e-readers here. We have submitted plenty of e-readers in the past. We've only really seen a few 10s come through. There's been a lot of 9s, a lot of 8s, very, very few 10s. But I'm hoping that kind of changes this time around, because, like I said, all these cards do look very, 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 very good. I don't see many flaws just scanning through them. So I'm hoping that, we kind of get rewarded here. I'm hoping that our submitter, gets rewarded here and really scores some 10s on some really good stuff. Again, some of this stuff is pretty high value. Towards the end, we get to some much higher value stuff. You'll see later on. But yeah, I mean, if PSA wants to throw us some 10s and give us the upcharges, we'll be happy to pay them. This is a very cool card too. Gengar. And so, talking about upcharges, if you don't know, the value cap on the bulk tier only covers cards up to a $200 declared value, and that declared value is going to be post-grading, right? So really, what I always recommend, these two are great too. Sorry, these two Slowpokes are fantastic, both McDonald's promos. So I always recommend, you know, to anyone who has questions submitting, that you want to kind of value, if you think your card's a 10, value it at a PSA 9, right? So the difference of a PSA 9 and a PSA 10, especially with some of these older cards, can be hundreds of dollars, sometimes thousands of dollars. So you don't want to expect to get a 10 and put it in a tier that's going to get a 10 and pay, you know, possibly $150 just for your card to come back a 9. Like, it's just really, really suck to have to do that. And especially with a submission this big, it's going to be okay to take, you know, a couple risks here and there, because there's so many cards. You know, if they identify a couple cards that have to get bumped up the next tier, you know, right now we've seen a couple times where cards don't get upcharged through bulk. Like I said, this covers cards up to $200 in value. We've seen Moonbreons come back bulk PSA 10s. Rayquaza VMAXs come back PSA 10s with no upcharge, and those are, you know, the Rayquaza was probably like a $600 at the time, and the Vaporeon, or I'm sorry, the Umbreon was, I don't know, $800 at the time. But we've also seen upcharges that can be up to like $75, and I think the $75 tier covers cards up to 1,000, 1,500, maybe around there. So, you know, if some of these cards, for instance, this one, some of these cards get PSA 10s, you know, we might see upcharges up to $75. But the good thing is that only those cards are going to get upcharged, the ones that deserve it. It's not going to, the upcharge isn't going to apply to the whole submission. If 190 of these cards don't qualify for an upcharge, great. We still pay $14, $15 per card for all of these cards, except these two. These two are also very nice, and those Misties. So we're getting to the higher value stuff here. But like I was saying, if 190 cards don't deserve an upcharge, but 3 of them do, then great. We only need to pay the upcharge on 3 of those cards, as opposed to sending all of these cards in a higher tier, just because we think a few of them might kind of break that $200 barrier. So we've taken the risk plenty of times. We've done this plenty of times. I don't imagine many others don't do that. That's pretty much why we submit nearly everything in bulk. And, you know, PSA says the reason that they do these upcharges is for insurance purposes, in case something, you know, goes wrong or gets damaged. You know, they have that insurance to pay out the person whose cards either got damaged or, you know, God forbid, lost or anything like that. So that is why they do it. It is for insurance purposes, so that they, in case something does happen, you know, they have the ability to pay that back. Not that not that they wouldn't have the ability to pay it back anyway. We're sending in cards, you know, however many cards PSA grades per month. I think PSA is doing just fine. You know, I think they're doing all right. I'm not taking money away from PSA by submitting all these cards into bulk and not paying for that additional tier if I were to need. So nothing to worry about there. But finishing off the sub here, we've gone through 6 to 7 stacks already. We're at the last 20 cards. So big shout out to Exceiia. He reached out to me to kind of get the sub together. Might be by far the biggest card in the submission. This is the Gold Star Japanese Gyarados. This is a first edition. I do see kind of a print line going up and down here. I think I saw this card go for, I think I saw this card in a 9 very recently, priced around 900. A 10 is, I don't even know what a 10 is, over 1,000, maybe 1,500. I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. I didn't do much due diligence on pricing 200 cards beforehand. I'm really not too sure what this card is. If somebody knows, please leave a comment down below and let me know what this card does go for in a 10. But this is the most expensive card in the set right now. If it tens, this Gold Star Gyarados is phenomenal. It'd be great for it to get an 8, right? That would be phenomenal. I think an 8 is a very respectable high grade for this. A 9, ooh, golly. But I think an 8 is still respectable here. And that's what, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like I said, I don't want to take any of these cards out of the sleeve. Exie and I talked. Personally, I think it would be in everyone's best interest if I handle these cards as little as possible because he did prep them properly. I mean, the packaging he sent was phenomenal. Never had anybody send packaging like this before. Perfect. Shout out to Too Tough. This is also phenomenal. Shout out to Too Tough Card Armor. The box that they send all their stuff in is great. Not sponsored. I don't expect any. Not sponsored, but it does look like a phenomenal product, and I'll probably be getting some. But these Poncho EVs are great. Love that there. And like I said, I'm really hoping we see some great cards come back. I've been rambling on for long enough. I think that, this card submission is probably the coolest one I've ever gotten. This is the largest Pokemon submission I've ever gotten. We've done a 216 card submission in the past for Squeezy, but this is by far the largest Pokemon only submission that we've done. So I'm really hoping this comes back great. So Exie, thank you. It really means a lot that I've been doing this for a good while now, only recording it on YouTube for not very long, but we've been grading cards for ourselves and for others for about 3 years now. Started year 1 doing CGC, year 2 we did PSA with no sort of profitability built in with that whatsoever, and then now on year 3, we're taking it a little bit more seriously. We've kind of built a nice little community here with people who are grading with us, and we've built some reputation that we can have some newcomers in who are going to trust us to send out 200 cards for them properly and get it all done. So thank you for that. It's been awesome stuff, and really looking forward to get this return. I think it's going to take a while. We're at 45 days right now. PSA's really been taking up that whole 45-day timeline. But yeah, this is going to get shipped out. This video will go up probably the same week that I'm filming it. And then I'll probably put all their backlog videos up on top of that, just because this is kind of a little bit more important and very exciting to send this many cards. So Exia, thank you. Shout out to him, and we'll put his info in the description down below. And yeah, guys, make sure you like, subscribe the video, comment down below what you think that Gyarados is going to get, and that's a video. We'll see you on the next one.